You know what? It is no wonder that the Democrats are so hostile towards law enforcement officers. I mean, they've got to realize by now that they'll never be able to impose their great reset, their great global reset, if law enforcement officers end up siding with their local communities over the global elitists trying to rule the world, right? It's giving Governor Gavin Newsom a migraine as he attempts to impose his COVID-19 tyranny on California. This is Jazz McKay, and I'll be right back with that after this. Before we go any further, please subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell so you get notified every time we've posted a new video, which we do pretty regularly. Well, according to Breitbart, sheriffs in 5 Southern California counties with a total population of 17 million people, that's the equivalent of the 5th most populous state in the country, are defying Governor Gavin Newsom. They will not arrest people for violating the statewide curfew that Governor Newsom has imposed on us here in the great phallic-shaped state of California. Apparently, he did this. He believes Newsom does. How does it go again? Oh, yeah. The coronavirus only comes out after 10 p.m. I think, yeah, it's after 10. Yeah, the coronavirus, let's see. It sleeps on the couch all day, then it gets up and it smokes some weed and plays some video games, watches a little of the Cartoon Network, and then goes out at 10 o'clock to wreak havoc. And then it's back inside by 5 a.m. I think that's how isn't that how it works? Honestly, imposing Newsom's coronavirus decrees on the people of California has got to be particularly distasteful to cops, given the governor's Pelosi-esque level of Chi-Com hypocrisy, like getting caught and being exposed publicly for violating his own ridiculous restrictions on eating in restaurants. Putting on your mask and take your just put your mask back on in between bites and all that other nonsense. Public exposure of his attendance at a party full of lobbyists at one of the fanciest restaurants in the world with no social distancing was bad enough. But his subsequent lying and smirking non-apology apology may very well be the death knell to his political career.
A few weeks ago, I was asked to go to a friend's 50th birthday. My wife and I, a friend that I've known for almost 20 years, and a friend that had put a lot of time and energy into his 50th birthday.
Oh, yeah, the 50th birthday party of one of his old friends who just happens to also be a lobbyist and a big donor to Gavin Newsom and the Democrat Party in California, and also in attendance, the CEO and chief lobbyist of the California Medical Association, who, like Governor Newsom, obviously doesn't think wearing a mask or social distancing regulations are important, or maybe they're just not for them. Maybe those regulations are just for us little people.
It was in Napa, which was in the orange status, relatively loose compared to some other counties. It was to be an outdoor restaurant, and we started the program started at 4 o'clock. It was one of those early reservations. I got there a little bit late at 4:30, and as soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated, and I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up and walked back, got in my car, and drove back.
Now, I want to stop it right there. I want you to take a good look at that smirk, that smile, as he lays it on folks. He lays it like a Persian rug, this guy.
To my house. Instead, I chose to sit there with my wife and a number of other couples that were outside the household. And you can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach. and not practice. And I've done my best to do that.
Oh, for the love of Pete. He seems to think that the rubes who are expected to give up their family gatherings at Thanksgiving are so dumb that they buy into this shit. They're dumb enough to think he's really sorry. He's really sorry. He's only human. He made a mistake, and we all make mistakes. He really cares. What a bunch of crap. And he lied his ass off. The party was not outside. Good thing, by the way, that they got pictures. Fox 11 in Los Angeles published these pictures of him after he smirkingly lied. So Newsom, just like his aunt, Nasty Piglosi, and Dianne Feinstein, all of whom know that the panic campaign over COVID requiring people to symbolically submit to control by wearing a mask is utter bullshit. And when they think the peons, that would be you, won't see them, they walk around without masks on. Let me put it to you this way. How many of you are old enough to remember this guy? That's Joe Isuzu. Remember the attention-grabbing comic liar in all those Isuzu commercials a couple of decades ago?
This is my mom. And if everything I say about the four-wheel drive Isuzu Trooper 2 isn't true, may she be struck by lightning. It can carry a symphony orchestra or every book in the Library of Congress. And the nice part is the Trooper 2 starts at just $10.80. You have my mom's word on it. Mom?
You notice any resemblance there by chance, huh? Yeah, buddy. Well, I guess we found out whatever happened to Joe Isuzu. Yeah, he's the governor of California. So, is it any wonder that renegade Southern California counties like Los Angeles or San Bernardino, Orange County, Ventura County, Riverside County all refuse to enforce this governor's idiotic curfew? And more sheriffs all over the state are refusing to honor these mandates coming down from Governor Newsom, including Sheriff Donna Youngblood right here in Kern County. Just up north, Margaret Mims, she's the sheriff of Fresno County. And Scott Jones, the sheriff of Sacramento County. All of them recognizing the fact that this order from the governor is both ineffective and, frankly, unconstitutional. And police departments as well. They don't like the senseless authoritarianism that's going on here. The police departments of like Bakersfield right here, Ontario, Laguna Beach, all of these municipalities have announced that they will not actively enforce this curfew. If only the police could be demonized for just doing their job, then defunded into non-existence, why, we could replace them with a federal civilian enforcement agency, just as powerful, just as strong, and just as well funded as the United States military.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded,
and just as devoted to the Democrat Party and its socialist agenda as those deep state traitors in the FBI. Well, with 4 years of a Biden or Harris administration, it's not too far from reality. God save America. And death to the New World Order. I'm Jazz McKay. Whoa! Stop.
Stop right there.
We have an update.
I gotta know right now.
Adam Housley, you might recognize him. He's formerly from Fox News. Is a resident of Yountville. Now, that's the town where the French Laundry restaurant is located. And he made a few calls to some buddies of his back there, and here are a couple of tweets. He says, because Yountville is my hometown and where the French Laundry is located, I thought I'd do some digging. Now, get this, folks. Here's some facts about the Newsom dinner. The bar bill, get this, ready? $15,000. $15,000 for a bar bill. Well, this is one of the most expensive restaurants in the world. So, also 22 people in attendance, not 12, no masks, and by the way, all indoors. And he says they got so loud that other patrons had to complain about them. There you go. Big party animal, Gavin Newsom. He went on to say there was zero effort to go outside. There was no social distancing of any type. And he says that he's told that those who were there are now privately laughing at the controversy. Yeah, in other words, laughing at your embarrassment, Gavin Newsom. Some really good friends you got there, pal. But that's exactly the point. The people at this party are mega donors to the Democrats and to Gavin Newsom. These are rich folks who see this as something amusing, something funny, because they know that the rules don't apply to them. To these people, it's just a big joke. And Gavin Newsom, who should be embarrassed, deeply embarrassed by all of this, is one of them. He's just like these people. Gavin Newsom is nothing more than an over-the-top, elitist, hypocritical, lying tyrant. And that's putting it mildly. I mean, I wish we could impeach his sorry ass or recall him, but I've got a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that those of us here in the great phallic-shaped state of California are stuck with this douchebag until the end of time. You know? Kind of like this.
So now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. 'Cause if I gotta spend another minute with you, I don't think that I can really survive. I'll never break my promise or forget my vow. But God only knows what I can do right now. I'm praying for the end of time, that's all that I can do. Praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you.
Well, thanks for watching. Be sure and like this video, subscribe to my channel, share to your social media, and leave nasty comments below. God bless America, and death to the New World Order.